Guys, happy Friday and welcome to Just the Tip. So my name is Josh.
What the fuck is going on? My name is King Benjamin Cage.
He swore.
I did. Let's get that out of the way.
Guys, this is a show where King and I break down either some modern things that are going on, either in politics, in the world, or just in random hilarity. So thank you for joining us, guys. We appreciate it. But stick around. We're going to go through some topics now and join us.
Let's go.
So we're going to share the screen real quick.
Who's that guy?
The very first one we have for you today. I've seen him before once or twice, I think.
The Cheeto Messiah.
But he's... When was this? When did this happen? Before we jump into
I want to say
it
it was a couple days ago. What's the date on it? It should have it on there. Would it be on there?
Yeah, a day ago.
A day ago? Okay. Yeah.
So, guys, we're going to roll right into this. I'm going to let King kind of narrate here, too. So, these are some videos that we have pulled up that feature some of the debates that they were talking to Trump, both about Kamala Harris herself and also some just some other pieces. And before we jump into this, I want everybody to know we are not affiliated with either one of these parties. We will actually look at both sides of any kind of this. But what's crazy is that the world does function on this two-party system and that we still feel this is the best way to operate. But with that being said, you want me to roll the video?
Let's roll.
All right.
Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first Black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
She just gave what the acronym was.
That is
give me a
literally
definition
the words
then. Would you give me a definition
DEI.
of that? Give me a definition of
Sir,
that.
I'm asking you a question,
No,
a
you
very
have to
direct
define
question.
it. Define it for me if you
I
would.
just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a Black woman?
Well, I can say, no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was Black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn Black, and now she wants to be known as Black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she Black?
She has always
But you know
identified
what?
as a Black woman.
I
She went to a
respect
historically
either
Black
one.
college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a Black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe
I
that
think
she is
somebody should look into that too when you ask continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some Republicans
I really don't
have
know.
said?
I mean, I really don't know. Could be.
All right.
Okay, so like the thing that intrigued me about this particular topic was that, you know, race hustlers are going to hustle.
Good afternoon, NABJ, and welcome to
And yeah, pause these clowns. No, and the way the media ran with it was, you know, it's identity politics. It's like, you know, never the merits or the character of the person. It's always the color of the skin or the pronoun or the agency in which they are affiliated with, or the banner that they like to hide their accountability behind. But I do remember when she was running, you know, and then they had that, you know, DNC thing where Tulsi Gabbard just handed her ass and like pulled out all of her, you know, fucked up policies and stupid happenings and whatnot. She did run and emphasize her Indian heritage, and that was a thing. So not siding with the Cheeto Messiah over here or anything, but like that really was a thing. Like and you really have to scour the internet because the algorithm has suppressed any of these videos. So I had to search for about 20 minutes before I found this video right here.
Yeah. So we're going to switch back over real quick. Here it is.
Becoming the first Indian American woman to be nominated as a vice presidential candidate in America. In a recent event, the Democratic vice presidential nominee took a trip down memory lane, recalling her mother's journey from India to America. Now, her mother, Shyamala Gopalan, was born in Chennai and immigrated to America to study at UC Berkeley. The Indian origin senator also talked about her trips to India and her mother's attempts to instill a love of good idli in her. Listen.
I stand before you as the first candidate for Vice President of the United States of South Asian descent. When my mother, Shamala, stepped off the plane in California at 19 years old, she didn't have much in the way of belongings. But she carried with her lessons from back home. Growing up, my mother would take my sister, Maya, and me back to what was then called Madras, because she wanted us to understand where she had come from and where we had ancestry. And of course, she always wanted to instill in us.
Wow, she has very broken up reading skills.
So look at that.
Yeah, that's
After
what I'm saying.
that moderator just said she has never once claimed to be Indian.
Right.
That was said directly by that moderator. that.
Yeah, well, to be fair, her father, I believe, is Jamaican descent and her mother is Indian descent. But again, it should not fucking matter.
Why is any of that leverage?
like,
it should be
this
ability to do job.
Right, and that's where DEI is a huge failure. Like, you should have the equal opportunity to try something, and not all results are going to equal. They're going to vary because equality is a lie and a myth to appease the masses.
Yeah.
But you should have the equal opportunity to participate, but it doesn't mean you're going to have the same fucking outcome.
You should not be a shoe-in because of that.
Right. So like now people that are just like they're gonna use they want to say end racism, but they hyper emphasize and they race bait all the time by putting these things out there. By saying, oh, it's the first, person of this gender or this color. Like, how about it's the first person or it's just their accomplishment? Like,
Yeah.
why is that not a thing?
This person's ABCs.
I'm not
were
pulling a
in
lever.
line.
Right, I'm not pulling a lever for somebody because they have a different skin tone or they, wear a certain type of clothes. Like, I want to know what the fuck their policy is and where they stand with people. Not that I advocate for voting anything on a federal level anyway, but like if you were going to, wouldn't you want to pick the best suited person by, everything that they've
Accomplished.
Yeah. Everything that they have, their resume would speak for itself.
Yep.
Not their, today I'm Indian, tomorrow I'm black, this, that, and the other thing. I identify as a toaster. I'm a hamster. What the fuck are we doing?
Think of the mentality of if we only had phones to operate on.
Right.
If you can't physically see somebody, go off of their actions and the words that they say.
Right.
And how they back them up. Not what they look like, but
Right.
now that's such a big topic for the United States.
And you could tell in that interview where she did, like, I think that was 2020.
Yep.
Before she got dismantled by Tulsi Gabbard. Her not only reading that sounded very broken and but it's just fraudulent because it felt very
There was
forced.
no organic to
There was
it.
nothing organic about that at all. It's just like, holy shit. And, I want to see if she makes it out of the DNC because I guess that's got to be a thing. You have to make it out there to be actually be the nominee. And I already see people within my neighborhood with her sign on their yard. Like, a fucking week ago was Biden. Oh, here we go.
Now
Like,
the new best person for the
but
job.
as long as it's not the orange Cheeto Jesus,
Yep.
they're going to put whatever's on that blue lever on their yard.
And this goes back to
Or the
2
bumper.
podcasts ago with you and me, that the people are just ready to vote for a color. It has nothing to
Yeah.
do with what it
Yeah.
is. They just leverage these different pieces to say, why wouldn't you vote for this person when this?
Right.
Or here's another way to get another group of people behind me and behind of my message or what I want to try to get. They're just going after second groups to get more votes.
Anybody that was running for office, and there are people within these governments or within government that actually do want to have a fundamental change for the better. There are, so I'm not knocking that. But the people that are, they get stifled. They get watered down. They get demonetized. They get their algorithm pushed way the fuck down. So anybody that's saying anything of any type of quality, you're not going to hear it because your access to it is very fucking limited and you're too lazy to research it. Not you, but like people in general, just like surface dwellers. Oh, this is what's going on. Echo, echo, echo.
Yep.
Anyways,
Yep.
next on the dockets.
All right. So up next, we got a fun one.
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
The
It's not
Jesus
Jason
Christ
Bourne,
truck
though,
has
guys.
appeared.
So the next one we're going to share with you currently going on is the 2024 Olympics. And with the Olympics, boxing is one of the sports that come along. And with boxing is this news article.
There's two people with alleged boxes.
Yeah. That was organic right there. See, that's when you know something's organic.
Not teleprompted
You did
whatsoever.
not read that off a piece of paper.
No, I read that off the frontal lobe of my fucking idiotic brain.
So this article is Algerian boxer Amain Khalif becomes target of Olympic gender row. The fighter under scrutiny won her opening bout when opponent Angela Carini from Italy quits after 46 seconds.
She got punched twice.
Yep. And this was
got
all over the news because she did get manhandled. So this was all over the news because this one is a topic that we assume that somebody's identity changes the physicality. It doesn't, as we can clearly tell. So if you're uneducated on what happened, these two individuals went and competed in the Olympics for boxing. It was 46 seconds long. Like King says, 2 punches, but she gave up. So she actually quit. She throws in the towel and breaks down crying and says the words that she's never been hit quite as hard in her life.
And I think that was, all right, stop. I'll make you a sandwich. No, I'm teasing. Totally teasing. I saw this and I was kind of like, okay, wait a minute. Because this person's from Algeria, which they do not allow the alphabet agency in. They don't, like, if you're, they don't do the transgender thing. I don't think they even do the gay or lesbian or anything. I think that,
right.
Like, I think if you are in alignment with any of that, they will probably remove you from society in some certain way.
Yep.
So where's the outrage for that? Where's the protest for that? Anyways, no. I did do a little bit of research on what this person's chemistry makeup is. And I guess they were born with the female parts, but if you click on the next tab, it has a summarization of what I believe that they called it. Swire condition. And if you want to read that one
Swire syndrome, also known as 46XY complete Gondala digenesis, is a rare congenital disorder of sex development characterized by the failure of sex glands, testicles, or ovaries to develop. It's a type of disorder of sex development that affects individuals with a 46XY karyotype, so that's a typical male chromosomes, but with female genitalia and no functional sex glands.
No.
So that's what that reads as. And this person with this condition isn't actually even the first person to actually be ousted from Olympics or boxing, because this has actually become topics multiple times throughout the last several years. I actually just read about this today, where they removed anybody that was born with XY chromosomes because they didn't feel that was in level competition ground. Multiple different organizations have actually done that too, where you can't compete like that. But this person failed one of the tests before and were removed from a different competition, but then they were allowed at the Olympics.
Right. I believe, like with a lot of things, like running rampant, a lot of people are, they go and adopt a different gender and then they insert themselves into a female sport and they kind of overtake it. That has been a thing. I'm not saying this here is particularly that case.
Yep.
But that has been a thing, so I think that's triggered a lot of people's emotions, them seeing this and not actually going and doing a little investigative reporting and seeing what this person has. Now, I will also say that the pronoun movement, LGBT, okay, LGB, yes, definitely. T after that, yes, there's people that have that, but maybe not in the numbers that they have now because it's been so monetized, and that's what people, I get agency, I can be this person, I can get attention seek, and that's what I'm going to do. So they do exist, but not to the numbers that they do. But anything after that, the pronoun thing is just, it's a trend. Okay,
Yep.
but if there was a situation where you could actually probably identify and grab a pronoun or two,
It'd be this one.
It would be this person because they have that genetic makeup that has, the chromosome thing. And
It's like an actual hermaphrodite.
Right. Yeah. So like that would, like if you sat there and said you were a pronoun, and had that going on, I'd be like, okay, word, that kind of makes sense.
This is the one that is highly arguable.
But the they them thing is just kind of like, all right, now you're plural. Like, what are we are Venom? Like, what's going on? Like, that's kind of
like
weird. But then I, made a meme, and I'm not poking fun at anybody, but it's just poking fun in general. It's just kind of what the fuck I do.
Because comedy is comedy, guys.
Yes, and I am the king of being inappropriate at the most appropriate time. And there we go. Click on it. I memed yesterday, and no, wait, we're gonna click that out. People are messaging me. Mark Safe from Boxing a Pronoun in the Olympics today. Yes, it came up as spam on my caller ID, so I bitch buttoned that and didn't answer. But then come to find out, I checked my voicemail and I was supposed to box.
I love it.
So
it had me laughing when I first walked in. Once again, it's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke. I mean, if people out there actually took the lighthearted side of things, they wouldn't be so fucking angry, and they wouldn't have all this race baiting, triggering.
Yep.
Stop being weird. Better yourself mentally, physically, everything. Stop buying into the propaganda. But that's my spin on it. I don't know where you're at on it. If you have a spin on, what happened with that chick in boxing, somebody of that caliber.
See, that whole case makes it's different to the fact that that's somebody that's born as a hermaphrodite. But the way that I see it, and they actually offered several different solutions for even the LGBT community to compete, make your own division if that's what you want to do. However, I realized we wouldn't have enough candidates doing that. But they were talking about more so, not in this one, but more so biological male crosses into MMA. You guys have probably all seen them online.
Right.
Where you go in against a biological female and destroy them. I don't understand how you even feel good about that.
And the irony is a lot of feminists jump up on the side of the person that identified that. Like, what the fuck are you even doing right now?
Identity rather than...
Like,
that's the exact opposite of equal or fair, guys.
Yeah. Like, and then...
It's inclusion, for sure. But it is definitely different than equal or fair.
It's poisoning the well.
Yep.
Is what it is. It's literally like woman beating at that point. But
there's internationally there's a bunch of weird MMA things that they do. They'll take two women versus one man, 120-pound women versus a 240-pound man. They'll do a bunch of those strange things and just still allow it to happen. It's like Eddie Hall going in there, who's not a fighter, but he's the world's strongest man. What do you think's going to happen when you go in with a 400-pound man and two 140-pound trained fighters? He's going to absolutely eat them alive, whether you're trained or not. Yes, there are weight classes for a reason, but there's also classes why there's women's fighting and men's fighting because of that line that you just can't cross or can't bridge. Right. Not saying a woman couldn't take out a man, but 9 out of 10 times a 16-year-old boy could do that if he needed to. Which it's not. I mean,
there are oddities, and there are like people that and that are women that are superior in so many different ways than men,
including physically.
Right. There's. I'm not going to take anything away from them
but those are exceptions.
I know women out there that can kick a lot of dudes' asses.
Right.
I do. I definitely do. But in most cases, let me say this: the Olympics to me, I never fucking cared about it.
Yeah.
And unless you got like some 400 or 500-pound big ass dude jumping off a high dive, and there's a cannonball contest where it's like front row Shamu at SeaWorld, I'm not fucking watching. Because I'll watch that because that shit would be fun as fuck.
So I'm not going to bring this up. This isn't one of the things I have queued because I didn't have a video for some reason. It wasn't allowed in our country. I did watch part of the Olympics, not live though. I found out about it afterwards. A giant metal band named Gojira got to play at the French castle, strapped to the side, and that was the first time I can tell you I was excited about something happening at the Olympics in forever.
Yeah,
that's about it.
The charismatic voice covered it. She's an awesome YouTuber. Yeah. Definitely was cool to see, but I guess her coverage of it wasn't. Maybe a copyright infringement. I don't know what it was, why it was not available in our country.
Yeah, because I couldn't find the actual video.
Yeah,
I could find somebody watching.
Right, yeah.
But not the actual video.
So, but no, it definitely looked fucking badass. It was super cool.
All right, switching mood, switching topics. So back to a little bit of some of our childhood passions.
Nerds.
So
Fucking nerds.
yeah, terrible. We're going to switch back over so you guys can see. So a big happening in the MCU right now. A lot of people have read about it. It was all over just news and everything. So Robert Downey Jr., he is back.
He's back.
He's back.
He
So
is bad.
yeah.
He's a bad guy now.
Dr. Downey Jr. So he is now being casted as one of Marvel's most famed villains. Really the only villain to go to after Thanos, especially when we get to this next topic, but especially after the whole Jonathan
The Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan piece.
I always thought I thought Jonathan Majors was fine. I had no problem with him being Kang, but I just thought he was a terrible follow up in the way they were kind of like they were forcing the political narrative and characters within the Marvel universe, and then doing kind of like the Force is female, but Marvel's version.
See, I liked it at first in Loki because I had high hopes for his character and how that was going to be, and I don't think he did a bad job. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was going to be a lot cooler than even the lead up has been.
I don't think he was a longevity project. I don't think that Kang storyline was something that you just build up anticipation to, whereas Thanos was kind of like, he grabbed the glove, I'm going to do it myself.
Well, you didn't even really need to be a comic book fan to know who Thanos was in comparison.
A lot of normies didn't know who the fuck he was. Like, I was old school, like Jim Starlin. Like, I read that shit when he had collected the gems, and then he sat on them for many years, and then figured out how they worked, and then went, grabbed the surfer, threw him fucking into the Doctor Strange's domicile, and said, "Get your boys, we're about to have a little hoedown."
I definitely knew he was a lot more because I grew up with comics too, but I wasn't even aware. I knew of Kang, but I never even followed any of
I
that.
just think that was doomed to fail. See what I did? No, I think that was doomed to fail, and I believe he probably got, with that legal shit that he had going on, they found a reason to snuff it out because they knew it wasn't gaining any traction or popularity. But this right here was definitely a popular decision. I don't necessarily think it was the right decision, because I think Robert Downey Jr. would knock that role out of the park.
So
anything you hand him, he's going to own it.
Tropic Thunder, don't break character till you do the DVD commentary.
Right, he's fucking one of the goats, absolutely.
Yep.
But there's so many other people that I would have rather see be Doom than him. If you were going to bring him back as a variant of Iron Man from another universe or something, I could see that. Or maybe that's what they're gearing to, where he faces a version of himself as Iron Man.
That's kind of what we were discussing right before we went live.
However, you've got all these other projects that are coming out. Agatha All Along, not Winter Soldier, but Captain America. All these things they're not really even fucking promoting them all like that anymore. They're going to fail. They're going to fail miserably. So it makes me wonder what Avengers team they're assembling to do this, because if you don't have your Thor, you don't have your Iron Man, or you don't have your Hulk, or if you're going to go with a young Avengers approach, I have no ambition to see it. Yeah. I don't give a fuck, because they didn't do well on comic racks. They're not going to do well in movies. Yep. And if Marvel doesn't pick up the pieces and figure that out, I think people will watch it because it's Doom. But I don't think it will have the traction that it would normally have if you had those OG characters there to actually fucking fight them, through some X-Men in there, through made it a big old, slobber knocker. Yeah. And then they're going to do the Secret Wars, which is probably going to reset the whole MCU and, give it all new characters. Like, it'll erase everybody that was there, and then they'll probably go with that moving forward.
Yep.
Which is probably the go-to thing, but everything they got in between these movies, I don't have high hopes for it. I think they should have cast somebody else.
Yeah.
But I think that because that was like a panic button move for them. Like, okay, we're not doing good in the ratings. We're fucking everything up.
It's called the Russo brothers.
We're losing so much money on all these endeavors. We gotta go back to what fucking won us.
Yep.
Over before, and it's a step in the right direction. But I just
don't know what they're gonna do or how it's gonna be, because there's gonna be diehard comic fans that don't like variations, but I'm just interested in seeing how they're going to do it. What are they going to do? Is it supposed to be Tony Stark? Is it supposed to be an alternate reality Tony Stark?
No, they're saying it's going to be Victor Von Doom. They're
saying did he do Face Off?
Right.
John or freaking Nicolas Cage and John Travolta.
Right.
Like I don't know what they're gonna approach that.
Deadpool spoiler here.
I haven't seen it.
Everybody thought Captain America was showing up, and he was shrouded in like a little thing, and then Deadpool came over and grabbed him, thinking it's Captain America, and he ripped the thing off and ripped his shroud off and the veil and all that stuff. And
yeah, isn't that who played it before too? In
that's
who
that it wasn't. He showed up, but not as Cap. He showed up as.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's you can tell.
I thought that was kind of funny too.
They're probably looking into crossing just the multiverse in the movie.
Right.
In the movie itself. So guys, I'm gonna cue this up real quick. If you guys haven't seen it, this is just so you can check this out.
One of the more entertaining characters in all of fiction. If we're gonna do this, if we're gonna bring him to movie theaters worldwide, then I think we're gonna need the greatest actor in the world to play that character.
Ben Affleck, somebody said.
Wow. Ben Affleck would have been a bad choice.
Ladies and gentlemen, as proof of the unimaginable possibilities in the Marvel multi-universe, we give you
It's multiverse.
the one
would be the
person
Yeah.
who could play Victor Von Doom.
Kamala Harris.
You know what's crazy?
What if he actually is a Doombot? You definitely got the pop, man.
Yep.
Definitely got the fucking pop. I don't get the appeal. This dude carried the franchise
Yep.
as Iron Man.
That's really what kicked it off. I know Captain America came out, but that was the movie everybody ran to.
Yeah.
Especially, and a little awesome plug here too, guys. My background and my work is in actually drug recovery. What a story that man has.
Oh yeah.
If you don't think that you can take where you are and make a change and move forward, you're wrong. This is all off of showing somebody when you want something, you can move forward and you can go out and get it. You just have to be motivated. This guy described himself as a cocaine addict at the age of 9.
Damn.
At the age of 9. With his father.
That's fucking insane. That's a terrible bond to have with a parent.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that he finally said, I've had enough. He's been to jail. He did all this. And now he is considered one of the greatest
This
actors.
dude is making retarded amounts of money, dude.
Oh,
Do you see how much money he just got paid to come back?
No, I didn't.
I think
see
it's
any
like
of that.
80 mil or 60 mil or something obscene. But if you look, like there was I read it yesterday, like how much he made per movie. This dude's got more money than and good for him. But what do you do with all that? Holy shit!
Considering there's not one job in this world that's worth $1 million a year, then these guys get insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's I've talked to my fellow comic book nerds, and a lot of them are opposed to him doing it. Not that he can't do it. They're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, why? And I think I've but I think I've talked to one or two that were like, oh, it sounds awesome.
Sounds awesome just because they like the actor. I don't think they're really saying sounds awesome because they don't. Not really. Maybe. I mean, everybody's got their own.
There's so many other people. Even if you took, and I'm a huge Magneto fan, I think Michael Fassbender did a fucking great job with him. But if you had him as Doom, or if you had Adam Driver as Doom, there's so many different.
Gerard Butler, he could have been in there too.
Yeah, it could have been Ben Affleck, who screamed in the audience.
Somebody who thinks, Ben, if you're watching, you got some fans out there.
That would have been pretty fucking cool. Or even the guy that they had from The Office that debuted as Strange in Scarlet Witch, or the Doctor Strange Scarlet Witch movie. That would have been something. I don't know, but this guy has a legacy, and I legit say legacy of over a decade of being Iron Man, and has this big fucking goodbye moment. And I get how maybe bringing him back as Iron Man might water that moment down, but that's what comic books is.
Yeah,
there's no permanent death in comic books.
Yep.
But to have him to come back on the opposite side of it all.
I get the allure, because that's literally what the allure is. They're taking your most popular character, but He was his own person. Has always been his own person.
He was that Stark was that role was for him.
Yep.
That role was for him. But there's rumors that Tom Cruise is going to be a variant of Tony Stark and face off against Doom. So
I just watched Tropic Thunder last night, and Tom Cruise is in that one too.
yeah.
That one is filled with so many actors, and yeah, it wouldn't work in today's world, but it's not. It wasn't made in today's world. Piggybacking directly off of the Robert Downey Jr. stuff. So with Doomsday being the new movie and them canceling the prior piece they had all figured out. Excuse me. Actor Jonathan, I think Myers, right? Majors. So actor Jonathan Majors. Boom. Heartbroken over the Marvel villain recasting. So I didn't even know all this happened.
Yeah.
So I didn't when I haven't followed the Avenger movies essentially since Endgame.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know that this whole kibosh happened.
I think they wanted a reason, and he kind of like his little spat with his girlfriend kind of was that reason to push him out, because I just people were voicing that this is a terrible follow-up villain, and they wanted to do long-term projects with him in it.
Yep.
And variants of him in it. And in the Ant-Man movie where he was in it, and Ant-Man soloed him, beat him, so what's the anticipation here? So I think a lot of that.
The Quantum version.
I didn't watch it, and didn't care to. But I believe they kind of wrote that out and then kind of picked up, and I didn't watch season 2 of Loki either, where he becomes Loki, god of stories, where he holds together the multiverse, which kind of wrote him out of it.
Right.
That was their way of kind of go away.
Yep.
And then when he was found guilty on certain charges or whatever, they were like, yeah, get the fuck out of it. But the same thing, like you were saying, Robert Downey Jr. had a history, and they let it go. And he's got a second chance, and look where he's at. So I do believe the guy believes, I think he should probably get a second chance. But then they brought up Ezra Miller, too, which that dude's just fucking out there. I don't know about second chances for him. I don't know if you've seen any footage or videos or any of the actors.
No.
Yeah, that guy he's a wild one. But they tied, he speaks about Ezra Miller, and he speaks about, Robert Downey Jr. getting a second chance, and basically he says that if Marvel were to ask him to come back and be Kang, he would do it. But no, I think they wanted that reason because they just saw that story wasn't going anywhere.
I mean, there's some cool possibilities, but it got Disneyed like the rest of it. Yeah. Look at Star Wars. How many times every movie just switched director every time, and they just kind of included what happened in the last one, but they all changed the way they
continuity. You don't have the same.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a lot of things with comic books too. Is they have a lot of back when comic books were actually good, they had consistent writers taking titles for years, and they stayed on that. So there was no loopholes.
Yeah, and he didn't. They actually remembered what they did and could use them.
Right now, you have social justice warriors and people that are writing hit pieces on being political. They're integrated into writing comic books now. You don't belong in this industry. You're killing the industry. Get the fuck out. So. But no, I'm pretty sure that didn't go over well because they hyped him up, dude. Red carpet, they were just stroking this guy hard.
It went all over. It went Ant-Man. It went Loki. It went all these other movies.
But the infatuation, in Hollywood, the red carpets, where they just fawned over this guy big time. They're like, oh yeah, Jonathan Majors. And now just who? It's gone. That's media though. You're cool until you're not fucking cool.
Yep, and we'll cut you out as quickly as we push you there.
They'll discard you, bro.
Sure will.
Discard you quick.
Sure will. And then the last thing we want to share with you guys, if this is your first time joining us, we do have a merch store located on streamlabs.com/justthetip2024.
Yeah,
there is an array of merchandise on there, guys. If you like the content we're doing, please, please, please give us a subscribe and a like. We will be doing this on Fridays as well as incremental shows that we do come up with throughout as topics do come. But this merch store does have some hilarity, some functionality. It's got everything
from serious shit, but a lot of moist shit, and
Hell yeah! Watch this. So right here, stay moist.
Well, let me get them strings out the way.
Because
moist.
who doesn't like to be moist?
Right.
That's it.
Lotion is the lotion.
That's it. So I'm going to switch back over real quick so you guys can see, and we're going to pull over into the merchandise piece.
No, not that one. There it is.
Right there.
Yeah.
So this is the hoodie, and I don't know if anybody's even seen the price of hoodies lately. That's actually a steal for just a normal hoodie.
It is. And it's very quality. It's very comfy. It's very soft. Yeah, like very quality.
Yep. Shipping's fast. Generally, I think on the 2 orders we did within a week. They all come from different vendors, so they are made per piece. So some of the stuff will take longer, but we can also custom make anything that you're looking for. But we have a lot of good stuff on there. Spend some time, go in, take a look. Even if it's not to buy, check it out because you can see some of the hilarious stuff we do have on there.
Yeah, that's what we do.
It is what we do. Guys, thank you very much for joining us on this Friday. Once again, we will be back next Friday at 12:30 Eastern. Appreciate you guys spending some time with us, listening to us do some rants. Hopefully you got some more higher level thinking or some things to think about from just the random stuff we throw your way.
No, thanks for signing on and, continue to do so. It's fun for us and we want to make it fun for you. So come on back.
Until next time, guys, stay moist.
Peace out.